You're not asking the Mexicans to do
But
the
that,
shit that you ask the black people.
but I mean, that's really weird because so you're telling me that when you applied for that job, after your interview, they offered you the position. The only thing it said was cashier and drive-through. That's the only thing your job description said.
When I got hired by the GM, my job description was to work the cashier, do the line, bro. We had a specific dishwasher role. Literally, dishwasher was the role. That wasn't my role. So when the Mexican lady came in, she decided, hey, I'm gonna make these people do these roles and tasks, knowing that they didn't want to do these roles and tasks. It would have been cool if you would have asked everybody to do the roles and tasks, just not the black people, just not the white people. But you're specifically asking the blacks and the whites to do roles, and these same people already done expressed to you, like, hey, this isn't my job role, I don't like doing this, X, Y, Z. But yet, you're not keeping that same energy with the Mexicans that can't speak no English.
Yeah, see, I think this is the problem. I've never, and I know people who worked at Taco Bell, McDonald's, and fast food. I've never heard any of them say when they started that job that their job description was just one specific station. Usually, when you work in those type of environments, yeah, they may have a role, but it's not what you signed when you signed up for the job.
I'm not pulling this shit out my ass, bro. Like this is the truth.
Well, let me finish. Let me finish. So let me finish. What I'm saying is that it doesn't sound credible because when you're in those type of fast food environments and you're working behind the counter, they can typically swap you out. Your actual job description isn't just only cashier and drive-through. You may have roles that you're assigned, sub roles, but typically in those positions, you're generally going to be available to work wherever they need you to work back there to keep the production line going.
Okay, so
Keep the things going.
if it doesn't sound credible, why was I awarded unemployment?
Because you got fired. That's most people. If you get fired,
I never got technically fired. I never got. I heard the word "you're fired." She just took me off the schedule, and I filed for unemployment.
You got laid off. So essentially, you got laid off, and that's what unemployment is for. As long as you don't voluntarily walk out, you can apply for unemployment, and then the job's going to approve it or deny it. That's typically how that works.
But like your words just said, if it sounds uncredible, why would I receive unemployment? A person will receive unemployment if the employer was in the wrong. That's how.
No, that's not true. That's not.
That is true.
No, it's not. No,
Have you received unemployment, sir?
I've never had, but I've approved.
So how are you going to tell somebody how unemployment works if you never received unemployment?
Because I was a hiring and firing manager, and I've approved unemployment for my employees before. That's why.
And I was an employee that received unemployment.
Okay, so if you this is
what happened, sir.
Okay, again, sir, unemployment. It's if you as long as you don't voluntarily leave. If the company dismisses you for whatever reason, laid off, you're fired, then you will file, and then they will determine whether you're eligible for it, and the company approves it or they denied it. They approved it because she probably cut your hours and took you off, so they just approved it to get you out of their hair. So again, look, I'm telling you, brother, like you're making yourself look very, and this is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say this to be hurtful, but just your lack of understanding of how unemployment works and how fired up you're getting.
Bro, I know
it's
how
unemployment works.
It's I won unemployment. You know how many people file for unemployment and don't get it?
And it's at the discretion of the company. The company can deny or.
It's not at the discretion of the company. They do an investigation.
Yes. No, when you. Yeah, so here's the thing. When you file for unemployment, you go through the unemployment insurance agency, and then they submit the request to the employer, and then the employer either accepts it or denies it, and they give a written statement on what the circumstances of you leaving that place of employment. That's how it works, bro.
Yeah, no, now that part
I had to go through that once.
Yeah, that is true. Now they didn't respond back. They never responded back, so I just automatically got that.
Right, and that's it. Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna say, yeah, see what you're talking about, like. I think it's probably by state, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so my very first job out of college, I was auditing credit unions. And it was the neighbor of my parents, he owned the firm, and he hired me. And they were hesitant about me taking the job, but they told me later on, after it all, a year later, after it went down, that he was psycho. And I I started to notice that right away when I worked there. But anyway, so I knew he was gonna like lay us all off or whatever. So I went ahead and took another job. And then, but I did get like 3 weeks of unemployment, and I filed for it, and I got it. But then the petty bastard he lied to them and said that I quit on my own. So when you said leaving on your own, whether you're fired or if you're fired or if you're laid off, whatever, you'll probably get it. But if you leave on your own, then you don't get it. He was such a petty bastard. He said no. He left on his own, and I had proof that I didn't. So while I was at my new job, I had some kind of like probate hearing with him and the dumbass lady that ran it. You could ask questions, but at that time I was like, I don't give a fuck about 3 weeks worth, whatever. I'm trying to learn my new job here, so like whatever. I just gave up on it. This guy was so fucking petty. He didn't want to have to pay any increased rates or whatever the fallout would have been if it got approved. But I had to like argue and fight it. But then I decided just to give up, and I got revenge later on. I like was drunk one night and I went up to his mailbox and punched out his life.
A lot of people do. They don't go. They want not going through the full process and just saying, "Fuck it, you got it."
Yeah, sure.
But he had a lot of pull though, so they believed him. He wrote some big ass letter.
Right.
He was a big shot.
Well, that's the thing, like, and I had to fire him because he was breaking a lot of the company rules and broke some rules from the employee handbook that he signed. So when he went to fire him for unemployment, and I had to write a statement, and I had everything documented, all his write-ups, and he signed himself, all his submissions, and he had, broken employee policies several times, safety policies several times, and it got denied based on that what I sent in. So that's what I'm saying. It's the company's gonna.
What do you call a company replacing a diverse environment with only one specific type of ethnicity or race? What do you call it?
Well, it's not structural white racism.
It's going to depend on the situation. It's going to depend on the situation, and from what you explained to me, it's
Timothy.
I actually opened my door so I had for a second.
What do you call it when an employer replaces a diverse working staff with one group of people? What is that called?
Employment discrimination.
It's going to depend the situation, and what I'm going off of is the fact that he said, "Damn, I can't even get context to my answer, bro." This is like your whole attitude shows your attitude sucks. It's probably why you got fucking fired, bro. Because you were asked to do something, your boss told you to do something, and you probably copped the typical.
Damn, balls, bro. Instead of just saying, "Okay, this was racism or this was discrimination," it's okay, gang. That shit really happens, bro. But you keep beating around the bush. Just say what it is, bro.
Because you won't let me answer. You won't let me answer. You keep cutting me off because you're fucking hyper emotional right now.
I'm not hyper emotional. Okay, I just got off.
You absolutely are. And here's the thing. I do not. Look, I've owned businesses. I've hired niggas like you. I can tell already by attitude. I've dealt with niggas like you. Your attitude fucking sucks, and then you don't want to take accountability for it, and you want to blame racists. Your attitude sucks, Timothy. I've hired niggas like you, bro.
Answer the question. So what do you call it, please? What do you
I just answered it. I said, based off your submission of insubordination, you already admitted that you were written up and you half-assed it. God damn, can I answer the fucking question, bro?
I haven't been written up, though. I just want to correct you.
Yeah, look, just how you're acting right now, this is why. It's not racism, it's you. And most of you niggas, that's a fucking problem. Your attitudes fucking suck. You don't understand how the world works. So you get a fucking pissed off attitude, you start showing your ass, and then niggas don't want you around.
Okay, so let's exclude me. What about the other 3 black people and the other 3 white people? What do you call them? Were they?
I don't know. I don't know. You haven't given me enough context about those people. Because one of the questions I was gonna ask is, did this manager, did this boss know these people that she brought in? It could have been nepotism.
All right, bro.
I would say it's probably likely either discrimination, nepotism, but it was wrong. Like, and I believe your story, but if you can't prove, like, the point is though, I think maybe what Siga's getting at, you can't prove it. Like, if a boss asks you to do something, like, even though it's unfair.
That's the only thing y'all highlighted, bro.
No, I'm You're probably right that it was, but it's one of those that you can't prove it, and it would be tough to like really say. But I would say you're probably right about your instinct.
Yeah, but listen to what he said though. He said, bro, I'm telling you right now, when you get hired at a fast food joint to work behind the counter, you don't have just one role as a dishwasher. Like that's not your job description. Your job description is to help. Oh, God damn, go ahead, you got.
Because you keep trying to, like, this thing, we gotta stop trying.
What it's trying to tell you is on your application, like every other person, it says other jobs or duties as necessary or deemed by management. There's a fine line there.
Thank you, and that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I've never ran into somebody who works fast food behind. Dude, can people finish their statement? Go ahead, man. You got a mob in. Go ahead.
Fast food my whole fucking life, bro. We gotta stop trying to disvalue experiences over opinions. Nigga, I'm in the field. Nigga, I've been working fast food. I'm currently working fast food. You can't tell me how the shit goes, nigga. What do you mean? Yes, there's specific dishwasher roles. Why? Because people don't want to wash fucking dishes. Is that
What happens if the dishwasher doesn't show up that day? Who washes them?
Shit, they gonna ask somebody to wash the dishes.
Okay then.
But that doesn't,
There you go.
that doesn't discredit that there's a dishwasher role.
But that's your role. That's not your job duties. That's not your job description. There's a difference between your job description and then when you're working back there, you get assigned to a role, specific role for that shift or that week or that month. What we're saying is you're not limited to just the drive-through, brother. And I guarantee you, if you actually read your job description, because this is a problem. Niggas with your minds, you guys don't read your employee handbooks. You don't read your contracts that you sign when you get hired on. You guys typically don't do it, bro. This is where a lot of problems are. Like I said, I've dealt with guys with your mindset. It's just no slight towards you, Timothy, but this is a problem with a lot of our young black men in our community.
Those employee handbooks are structurally racist. I gotta say, have you ever read through an employee handbook? All the restrictions and all the demands they place on the employee. That's all structural white racism, and that's legacy structural white racism.
But at the end of the day, almost every state has a right to work, bro. Almost every state is. So again, it's their company. They have a right to fucking get rid of you whenever the fuck they have a right to cut your hours. If you don't like it, then just go work somewhere else, bro. It sucks. Look, I had a job, dude, they cut my pay by 60%, bro, because they reset the fucking pay scale. It sucked. But again, I don't have to fucking stay there. They're not holding a gun to my head. I can always find employment somewhere else. It just is what it is.
Structure.
So is it fair to say that it's discrimination? Is that a fair?
No, not at all.
You're not willing to?
Nope, it ain't. It's called a job.
No, not on what you share.
I think that it's like I trust Timothy's experience, and I trust him as a human being, having been around and seeing and understanding the dynamics. I would say I'm 100% in my mind. I'm 100% confident that he identified what it was. And if he says it's discrimination, I believe that it's just, if it's racism, I believe it's racism. I will say, also though, the second part is too, and I know this is tough to say, but it's just how I feel about it.
There we go.
Also, yeah, I definitely agree with Sig in the latter part. Like, we contract with these people. We're not entitled to a job. We're not entitled to work for anybody. People don't have to hire us. If they want to I believe this. I believe if somebody wants to hire or fire you, you shit wrong and they don't like it, it's justified, right? It's the business that they've created. It's what they want, and they're paying you for a job, and you get to say, yes, I want to do the job for the money, or you get to leave.
You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. You think we live in a structural white racist society, but yet what you just said contradicts your narrative.
Thank you. The second thing is I
Stop muting me. That's racist.
So I recently saw this, and I pointed this out, and it was very blatant. Do you guys know what La Crusade is? La Crusade is like this severely overpriced. Okay, you guys know what La Crusade is. So we went to La Crusade sale, okay? Like these farm-to-table sales. And we had noticed, now this is like, this, you have to get a ticket, hold on, what, everybody wants to call me, you know what I'm saying? You have to get a ticket too before, you have to pay for it, the whole nine, so it's not, nobody could just show up and go to this event, right? It's like, it's a very catered to event. While we were out on the floor, I noticed that, I mean, like, it was really hard to ignore, that all of the people that were on the floor interfacing with the customers were all white, and then everybody else that was going back into the back to get the boxes or to get whatever it was, I'm just gonna say, they were all black. They were all black and Hispanic. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, is this, could it be that these people just happen to, all of these white people just happen to have excellent customer service skills, and that's why they chose them to be out on the floor to interface with the customers? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. So you know what I do? I strike up a couple conversations because you know how. And let me tell you, not only would I be right off the bat extremely polite, gregarious, wonderful, and based on that response, I was like, no, this is a racist ass motherfucking setup. This racist ass trash shit. I want zero product. I want to protest. Fuck up.
Timothy, I 100%, well, nothing can be 100%, but I'm almost fairly certain that they wanted rid of you for whatever reason, whether it be you're black or you are not one of her people, like whatever. I mean, this happens all over life. Like, this happens with, like, the new Olympic basketball coach, which his former players on the team. They'll cut the other player that didn't play for him. You know, there's favoritism, there's racism. It could be that you were a male and she used to date a black guy and she didn't, or it could be she just wanted Mexicans. It wasn't really, she didn't like black people or white people. She just preferred her own people because they're a community and they're definitely help for one another. Whatever it may be, I have no doubt that you're right. They wanted rid of you and they were unfair. They made it known without saying it. Like, you know, coaches do this, employers do this, people in general do this to other people. But as far as proving it, I don't think you would have. You might have a case, but you have to.
Have you ever?
You have to get the other three people on board to fight with you. But it sounds like you came out at the end. At least you got the unemployment.
Yeah, I definitely came out with the dub. I got the unemployment. So, I mean, that's a victory for me, but it's just crazy that people don't want to accept things for how it is. Like, that's just crazy.
Well, it's impossible to, like, I mean, I can see
What was your attendance like? What was your disciplinary record like? There's so many other variables, but we don't even know how you were as a worker. You know, were you slacking off? Were you slower than the other people?
Like I said, what about the other people? What about the other blacks? What about the other whites that got replaced for Hispanic?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. He's going to have a hard time reconciling. And that's
You may not understand it.
Okay, can I finish, please?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, you kind of cut me off, but go ahead.
Here's what he's going to have a hard time reconciling, is that he was in fact in the crucible. The atheists actually were the crucible.
Okay, the heat.
And, yeah, the heat, right? And the criticism of the atheists actually benefited him and made him purer on the other side.
I already agree with that.
Because the problem with that is that's saying that what happened here was a good thing. This criticism was a good thing, but he's not going to be able to accept that because he actually wants to keep all of the atheists blocked or you know, he wants to disable the chat.
I don't agree with that. Hang on, sir. I don't agree with that because I don't go to that next level step that you're taking it. Okay. I look at it as individuals that were there seek to destroy. Okay? And so victory for them, in my view, is such a total collapse and failure and closing up shop. It is, if that were to happen, there would be rejoicing.
Closing up shop?
Yes.
Bro.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. It would be, to me, not to better and strengthen the individual, if it's the case that that is the result of it, which it is to my view, despite the.
John.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I have to
that
stop you for a second. John,
Okay.
if Legacy Church were to close up shop,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a devastating blow to the Discord atheists.
I mean, yeah, I mean, whatever referent you're talking about, I don't know. As far as like an absence of content or whatever.
Yeah, we love it. We want the content.
But I think it's how am I gonna say this? I think it's absurd, for lack of a better word, to think.
You know, I have a really good analogy for you, John.
I think it's absurd to think that the trolling of the numerous people that I could think of is to better the character of a pastor in some small town here.
Oh, like, well, that's not what we're
I think
trying
it's
to do.
ridiculous.
That's not what we're trying to do.
Well, that's what you're hyping up right now with the heat.
Well, that's
the character.
by his lights what has happened.
No,
right?
no. This has nothing to do with his lights. This is according to your lights and my light. Okay, our view and your view.
He believes in the crucible shit, right? John, let me explain something to you.
Every Christian does, sir.
John, let me explain something to you. You remember Boss Man Jack, right, John? Okay. Now, there's a lot of people that follow Boss Man Jack, right? Now, there's Kiwi Farms, which is a message board, and they follow Boss Man Jack. The thread on Boss Man Jack is over 2,000 pages long, right?
Okay.
Now, there are certain rules that have been sort of even formalized, right? As sort of like, these are the rules that we abide by for Lol Scouts. And the number one rule, you know what it is?
Wait, are you're calling Boss Man Jack a low scout?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you guys.
Well, I'm not a Kiwi Farms guy. I'm just saying that this is like, you know,
Okay.
connoisseurs of Boss Man Jack have formalized rules
Okay.
for Boss Man Jack.
You don't do this or don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The number one rule
Mm-hmm.
is you do not interact with the little cow.
Okay.
Do you know why that's the number one rule?
Because he always reacts in a negative way.
No.
Personally, no.
No, because they want to continue to observe the little cow. That's why they don't, they don't want people calling the cops. They don't want to do this. They for damn sure don't want the person to get shut down, because that's when the content ends.
Okay.
Now, with Pastor Kyle, the last fucking thing we want is for the content to fucking end, John.
I think I know what you're saying. So
We would never, ever want Legacy Church to end. If anything, if the circumstances were like funny or interesting, right? Like, one time, and the congregation of 15 dwindles to like 3, and then like, he just kind of like throws his hands up in the air, he's like, fuck this, I'm out, or something. That would be like momentarily funny, but that would be the end, right? We don't want the end. We want it to keep going.
Yeah, John, think of the concept as
Well,
look
I'll tell you-
don't touch.
Well, I'll tell
Think
you
that
what.
concept, look,
You're not
but
supposed to
don't
tap on the glass.
Well, I'll tell you what. Me personally, I don't think I'll be quitting anytime soon. I can assure you that.
Well, I don't know, 15 people is getting kind of light in the congregation area.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
when
I don't look.
you had to cut, when you had to freeze all spending in halfway through May, because you didn't have money, and then later on you're running a 15-person congregation, and by your own metrics that only 20% of the people are tithing, that means that only 3 people are tithing from today's service. That's not good.
The way I look at it, like, this is a family that doesn't concern themselves with what they've been through.
I know you're not gonna say that they don't concern themselves with tithing.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Her TDS to me, and I was just trying to be clear with her. Like, it's a good old system. It's hard to get into our club, and yeah, I would never hire a radical leftist that would end up wanting to sue me over not having the perfect harmony of racial diversity between each position of my company. I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. So definitely ideology is something I would discriminate against.
I think it just hit a little bit harder for me because these motherfuckers got a place for people that either didn't have their Visa card or couldn't speak a lick of English. So I mean, I just think it hit a little bit harder than me than the average person that is replaced for somebody. So I mean, that's where I'm coming from.
Well, that's another thing though, Timothy. If they didn't have their Visa card, that's a little more mean. So they would probably pay less and save that franchise a little bit more money. Because people without visas, they don't have to pay as much as they're paying you, Timothy. And they might have been getting paid on the table.
And that's really nobody else's business though too. I mean, like, I know it sounds sad, but again, like, you're not entitled. You're not entitled to somebody is creating their business, they're building it from the top down. They should be allowed to employ who they want to employ, right? And so we're talking about freedom versus legality, right? Well, no, that's just what it is. Like, you either believe in private property or you don't. You believe that someone should have the authority to run the business the way that they see fit and contract freely with other people who wish to contract with them. It's your job. You want to contract
So
with
fucking
business.
stupid. This bitch repeats herself over and over again.
Contract. But listen, you're just not entitled. You're just not entitled to a job. You're not entitled to be employed. This is America. Go create your own. Go build your own. Go do something yourself. Let people build and create what they want to
Did
create.
you not just listen to what the man said? He was replaced by illegal alien invaders, Bima. Hello?
Yeah, that doesn't date. What do you mean? He was replaced with other human beings?
By illegal alien non-Americans, stupid. Hello? If it's not a contract, and if you don't believe in private property, then you believe in public. Bima, stop repeating yourself all the time. You're a fucking broken record.
This is the commie tyrant that wants to not make a barrier between government and freedom. This is the governing commie socialist, John Kitover.
Yeah, that's called projection, Bima. You're projecting your communism onto me. Hello?
Don't deflect though. Let's talk about what we're talking about, right? Let's talk about who.
Okay, don't deflect, because I'm not deflecting.
Private property.
Here we go again with the private property and the contractual consent.
Send that motherfucker
So what the commie, John Kitover, the commie says.
Oh, the commie John Kitover. Okay, projection alert. Projection says what? Projection says what, communist?
Order. Nima, though, what you're suggesting is not practical. Do we really want to talk about this right now?
Like, practicality.
Why not?
versus
Bima
what's
repeats
right.
herself every single day saying the same
Practical.
bullshit.
There's a lot of things that aren't practical right now. right? Because so many things have to change.
I'm not gonna cap
One
you
being, the idea of entitlement, right? The other being the force that government uses to insert their dick into our asses in so many other areas of life, making it impossible for us to truly have a free market and to build competitive institutions and businesses to then freely compete with the bullshit ones that, like, for example, Himothy was, let go from.
Yeah, but
right?
under your systems, employee and harassment, sexual harassment, all that shit would skyrocket.
Right. You know how high the unemployment rate would be?
That's just a baseless assertion. Do you think just the way that it works now, right? Businesses would be incentivized to have those sort of protections for their employees. And if they don't have them, right, then you still get the choice to say, I'm a human being and I'm not going to work for a business that isn't going to offer me those protections. It's very simple. Basically, what you're saying is, I want to interfere. I want to think for everybody else. I want to be able to force people to do things against their free will, and then force other people. I mean, like, come on, what are you even talking about? If people will do what they want. People will operate and go where they want and choose what they want, what's best for them. You don't have any business. It's not your business.
In a perfect world, yeah, they would.
No, it's what happens every day.
So you support, so FEMA supports my right to not hire crazy white women with TDS, right, FEMA?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You know how high the unemployment rate would be if they just allow people to just fire people just because I felt like firing you, or I don't want you working here? You know how high the unemployment rate would be?
Well, that would only be one part of it, though, Timothy, because remember, like, if that becomes a problem, then people, right, people that are valuable, because this
It's called
is the thing.
fire at will, and actually it is in place.
It's either you're valuable or you're not valuable, right?
Well, that's not necessarily true. Lisa Cook at the Federal Reserve, Trump couldn't fire her because she's a black woman that works at the Federal Reserve. Lisa Cook.
If a business needs workers and the workers say, no, look, we want protections in order to work for you, then the business is going to be incentivized. The cost benefit ratio is going to be, okay, yeah, we're going to.
Cost benefit ratios? Jesus Christ.
Is going to outweigh the costs, and the cost would just be having the contract. So you're completely eliminating the entire part where the free market is going to balance itself out.
Well, Bima, you're such a genius. I'm wondering, what is your academic background? What is your work background? Do you have a LinkedIn? Do you have any actual credibility?
Shut up.
Hello?
Let her finish.
Thank you.
Let her finish. She never even started. She doesn't even make any points. She just fucking meanders and babbles about nothing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, here's the thing, man, and this is what a lot of employees don't understand. I didn't do until I actually started and ran my own business. Dude, I had people coming in, and they just were not productive, man. They were costing me more money because they wasted a lot of time, fucked up my customers' cars, and just did dumb shit because they were just fucking idiots and retards. I needed to get them out of there quick. I don't want to have to sit up here and go through a fucking long, drawn-out, expensive process to get rid of someone who's wasting my time and wasting my money. Because at the end of the day, I'm running a fucking business. I'm in business to fucking make money. So I think a lot of employees don't understand that and realize that. But once you hop on the other side of that fucking counter and you're running that shit and it's your fucking time, it's your fucking money, it's your fucking reputation, you want to be able to get rid of shitbags as quick as possible.
And that's the thing, is like, I do think there is like the, whether it's tyranny of the majority of a population or the tyranny of the employees, I do believe you can get absolutely lazy, worthless fucking people that will be on the side of the employees, and they will basically strong arm and blackmail, anything and everything they can from their employer. And I think that they're because we see like these hierarchical structures where like because the person is the employer, somehow they're the exploitative ones or bad. I don't really buy that. The reality is the jobs actually kind of been the ones that have run America, or kept America running, you know, and kept the status quo. There's a lot of greed, a lot of things have happened that are bad. I agree, like the shrinking of the middle class, but with that being said, it's to go the other direction and just be like, oh, well, we must give in to the employees' demands. No, there's a tangle between the two, and a lot of the employees are not, they're not, they're looking out for their own best interests. A lot of their interests are very selfish, just like the greedy capitalist employer that they're working for. And so I'm very skeptical when I hear about people with these radical solutions where employees can just like band together and they'll somehow and it will have the best outcome. I think that's kind of stupid.
I have a question for you. So, I have said this same question. So, if you walk into a store one day and you see a diverse staff, white people, black people, Mexicans, diverse as fuck. Then you walk in maybe a few days later and the whole staff is full of white people. What would you call it?
If just suddenly the employees are white, I guess I'd be like, oh, the chef is a lot different this time of day. I'd throw it away.
Alright, my point is simply thank you.
You know, racial priority hiring, though, is not necessary. It goes on, it's been advocated, the Democrats even supported it with their DEI hiring practices. IBM at the highest levels, IBM, the CEO was on record saying, we're not going to hire white people anymore. We're only going to hire Asians. And he's of Indian descent as well. So it happens at the corporate level. It has been happening. Is it racism, racial priority hiring? Well, it's definitely not meritocracy.
It's definitely not right. I can tell you that. It's definitely not ethical.
I got a question for you. Carlin, when you see a black person and a white person, and the black person says, what up to the black guy, but not the white guy, what do you call that?
I call that black person just might have a friendship with that black person, and they haven't established a friendship with that white person.
So, last question. Do you think that black people are more racist in America or white people?
I think white people are more racist.
I call that black people are definitely more racist in America. White people don't talk about race every single day of their lives. Black people they bring it up to the point they go to sleep. At one point they will talk about racism, guaranteed. White people don't do that.
I mean, y'all, that's
You all got this.
I think if y'all went through the same experiences that black people went through throughout the existence of the United States, I think that y'all would talk about it just as much as black people.
You were spit on. So you're telling me in your whole existence of life, you were spit on and lynched?
I was not spit on and I was not lynched, no.
Okay, exactly. So why are you bitching about it?
I just want to point out, I literally only ever think or talk about race or racism when I log into Clubhouse. And throughout my life, that's the only time it comes up. And I live in the Deep South. I interact with black folk all the time. So I just want to point that out, that it's like not really a priority to mine. However, Carnage, to the contrary, we have Bima sitting next to us, and Bima does see the world through the lens of race. It's just not at a predominantly majority in the white culture. But we do have white fragility.
No, but even if you take Chinese people or Arabic people, they don't talk about race. It's a black American thing. Because even Africans, even black people in London, they don't talk about race like American black people. And really what it is baiting. You know, it's just like somebody who plays victim for they were abused as a child or whatever the fuck. You know, and they want handouts.
I mean, shit still go on, bro. Have you heard of redlining? That's still existing, bro. Like, that's a real thing.
I've heard of it all, bro, and I've been all over the place. You know, and black
So
people.
do you think redlining is racist?
I think black people are the most racist.
Hold on, I
in
just
the
asked you a
fucking
direct
America.
question, bro. Do you think redlining
No, I don't
is
think
racist?
it's racist.
Okay, so what is it then?
I think that black people complain every single day of their fucking lives. Not even on Clubhouse.
My question, bro. I asked you, what do you think what is redlining to you?
What is DEI to you? I know what the fuck it is, bro. Don't insult my
then what is it? Then tell me what it is. If it's not racist,
what is DEI to you?
Right, you can't even answer the question.
Okay, but you can't answer my question.
I've answered all your questions. The minute I asked you a question, you deflect. Again, if redlining isn't racist, what is it?
The question is, what do you...
Facts. And you want to back people.
Is there redlining on Clubhouse? Is there redlining in the streets of Clubhouse?
But there's not racism like
That's untrue because the redlining actually affected
the majority of the redlining actually affected
Hold on,
white
Pepe,
people
like, let me
numerically.
just finish. Like, then you can go, like, redlining affected multiple classes of people. It affected Jews, it affected Asians, it affected Hispanics, and it affected white people, particularly of different demographics, including Irish, Italian, and Polish, and etc. But furthermore, when redlining was at its height and its strongest epithet, it was actually a class decision, not necessarily a racial one. So yes, black people were accepted into neighborhoods, but they had to have a certain income level, be a certain status, such as a doctor or a lawyer, so on prominent. You see the examples of these in many historical records throughout, and even some of the lenses there. And then you would see here, in fact, the best known movie of redlining is The Greasers. It's the wrong side of the tracks. You've heard this saying before. Hey, you were born on the wrong side of the tracks. That's literally an example where the author was trying to highlight redlining in America between class societies that existed and had to use the same facilities provided by the government.
Right, and if there's racism, why are black people in the FBI?
The more gifts you got, more you
Exactly. Crickets.
Bro, those black people in the FBI, make up 1%, 2%, 3%? So are you saying because they make up 2% of I don't know how many people, that's not racism?
I highly doubt you know the FBI and how many people they have.
I know it's not more than 30%. I know it's not more than 10%, bro.
Okay. It wouldn't be the FBI if you...
So you tell me the numbers then. What is the
do
percentage
those
of black
facts,
people in the
it wouldn't be
FBI?
the FBI.
What is the percentage of black people in the FBI?
There's a lot of black people.
What's the percentage, man? Don't just make a statement and don't support
police officers.
Don't make a statement
The only
without
black
supporting
people
it,
that
bro.
complain are broke-ass black people.
Again, you make statements that you can't even support, bro. I'm asking you for the numbers.
You want to play victim.
I'm not asking you for your opinion, bro. I'm asking you for the numbers. You
I'm not wasting my breath.
Then don't bring this shit up. If you can't come with
Just like I wasn't wasting my breath with redlining, I'm not wasting my breath with that. Black people are more racist in America, and that's fucking facts. Prove me wrong that black people aren't more racist in America than
I don't think you can
any other
quantify it.
So
More racist.
I want to know the percentage of black people
So
in
there's
the
a couple things.
FBI. Since you
The FBI doesn't do percent of applications accepted based on race. However, what we can attribute it is that 46% of the FBI, almost half, is currently a minority group. 10% to 12% of them are black. If that is endemic of American black populations, and it's kind of that measurement, then you would say that it does exist based on the per capita ratios that exist. However, but you would have to find out the true number of that are of a certain racial group, and out of those applications, how many make it through the screening process that are, we'll say,
Good evening, Eve. You have such a cute and adorable sounding voice, but I have to disagree. I might be your dream man, and I've got a dream house. Fuck! Eve, I have to disagree. I think I might be your dream man because you look and sound like my dream woman, and I've got the dream house you're looking for.
Possible for him to know that.
Yeah, because they don't publish that, so you don't have the list.
It wouldn't be the FBI if they published it. I mean, make it make
But
sense.
why would you say possible after asking him the question? Because you knew that he wouldn't be able to answer it. Hello? Hello? You know?
Yeah.
He went speechless after that. He had nothing to say when you came in and said the shit.
He didn't cook my ass, he cooked yours.
Well, I know this is true. He's the same guy that's happy with what he done.
But I mean, so the FBI did it, but what we can attribute is we can say that right now, out of the positions that exist in the FBI, if you're going to the total group that exists. So black Americans represent what, roughly 10 to 12% of the black population that exists in America. So if 10 to 12% will assume or hope that they are black Americans, which I highly doubt. There will be some that are more immigrant. There are some that are Nigerian. There will be some that are from the Caribbean. There's bound to be a mixture up there. So that 10 or 12% of male black population. But you can't say it's endemic of racism because you would have to give me the stat of how many black applicants actually applied to the FBI.
What is going on in here? What is this like? How many people?
This guy
Are we talking about who applies to FBI of different colors? What is going on?
Not at all. Carney is trying
Viking is trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. I've got a massive disdain for him, to be honest.
And you act like I care. Like somehow you think you matter in the overall scheme of things.
You told me that.
You somehow brilliant that you talk from across the pond that you think that somehow or another you're
I understand, Eve, but if we're a couple, my dream house will be your dream house. And I know you want your own dream house, but I'm looking for a partner.
You told me that you went overseas and you was happy to kill children. You was happy to kill kids overseas, and that is what made me have disdain for you. And you particularly hate Muslims, and I'm a Muslim.
Was it a check that pulled you there?
right. I just personally hate the enemies of Americans. Like, you guys act like you're, oh, it's racism, but you come here grifting. You're a Muslim that attacked and killed black people, but you don't account that. You don't say, you know what, that was racist of us because really, your Muslim country didn't fly fucking planes into our buildings? I got a nice video of a black man falling out of a fucking Tower 2 when that was fucking crushed onto the ground. And personally, I don't give a fuck how many of you people I killed. I don't.
Yeah,
you're an enemy, and that's all I care about.
Whoa.
There you go. Thank you very much for exposing
that is
yourself.
wrong. I'm sorry. That is you need to chill if I can. That is
Why?
like.
You think it's okay to come kill my fucking Americans?
You
think it's okay to come kill my Americans, but when I come to get
you really do.
I understand you, but
okay, you somehow now think that it's such a horrible thing. You killed my Americans. You came on my land. I didn't fly a fucking plane into your mud hut. You came on my land, killed Americans, and then you sat down and said, hey, let's it's unfair because I'm tougher, I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm fucking stronger, I'm faster, and I'm better looking.
You understand you're pro-America, bro, but y'all actually did, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Listen to what you just said. You said, don't get mad when I retribute what you've done to me. But you understand that we went over there fucking with them first. So, yeah, if you're going to be fair, they're using the same logic you used, bro.
You know what? This happened the last time I was in the room and I didn't say anything, so I want to say something this time. Sig, thank you, because there's people like you actually make a massive difference. Because if it wasn't for people like you, a Viking would just go ahead and just say what the fuck he wants.
What about me? I told him to calm down, okay? I told him to calm down.
And it's actually not acceptable, Viking, because you say some really disgusting shit. And I remember you said last time.
So you want that one, or should I take it?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we have freedom of speech over here, Adam. So yeah, and this man has medals on his chest proving that he did his part to protect freedom of speech. So he's one of the motherfuckers that's definitely gonna use that shit, bro. So
Use it, but I just don't have to agree with it,
yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
As of today, we have freedom of speech. As of tomorrow, who knows? Now there's opinion, like the people that actually, the journalists that actually, came out with the report that there's question around the plane that Trump was flying on. That they're going to subpoena those people, the journalists. So
That's good though, because they jeopardize.
why is it good? Why is it good? Why is that good?
If they
Dude,
jeopardize,
how is that going to help anyone? Honestly, journalists, the reasons journalists, that doesn't make any sense. Honestly, it doesn't make, that does not make any fucking sense.
See, well, go ahead, Beaver.
I was going to ask Adam if he wanted to share his most racist experience.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Wait, my most righteous experience?
Racist.
Oh, racist experience. Okay. To be honest, I don't think I'd have one. The only reason is, the way that I grew up, it's a lot more microaggressions. So in the UK, people have a lot more microaggressions rather than just blatantly saying, you're this, or you're an N-word, or you're a P-word, like the Pakistanis, for example. It's more just about class. It's more of a class thing in the UK rather than race. But obviously, race does still play an important part.
You not touch your hair, or where are you from? That type of racism.
Do you want to go around the room and talk about who everyone is supposed to be?
You know what's even funny?
Class, white women, high class.
Yo, see, how many blunts you smoke?
What color? It's ridiculous.
You know what's funny? Is you got a Muslim who immigrated to England, but yet
I never immigrated. I was born there.
His lineage did the whole slave trade, and then where did he go to England? Who helped orchestrate basically the transatlantic slave trade and various other entities while colonization, while doing a variety of fucking twat waffle shit. But then you're asking him, what experience do you have with racism? And his is like, oh, it's more of a class issue. But he doesn't speak on the fact that, his lineage pretty much fucking set the stage for fucking racism by making eunuchs out of slaves and stuff like that.
My family didn't enslave anyone, and none of my immediate family
None of you guys ever do.
enslaved anyone.
Well, Viking, please tell us your most racist experience, if you don't mind.
Mine?
Yes, sir.
Most racist is when we get these Muslim and English twats that come into American rooms and they screaming for victimization, and they jump on the shoulders of Black Americans and the trials and tribulations and the suffering and the endemic pain that actually existed throughout slavery and the transatlantic slave trades, as well as the horrific things of Jim Crow. And they stand there in solidarity, say, oh, you got to get rid of white people. Yeah, you got to get rid of it, and jumping on it. And meanwhile, you know whose dick they come over here and they suck? They lick my balls and taint and ask me for that money and saying, fuck those little Black Americans. And they're always the ones that are screaming with their hand out, asking for more, saying, oh, it's racist, give me. And they're putting themselves at the head of the line of Black Americans.
Wow.
That's the most racist experience I have seen.
And I'll be honest,
What
I feel
Muslim
like you're
girl got away with you? What Muslim girl that you wanted to be with hurt your feelings? Because you sound like a child right now. Because you can't just actually. There's a lot of Muslim people here that are nice, so that's bullshit. I call you out straight up, and that's not fair.
Carnage or
It's
him.
really fucked up, dude.
How many of
Like,
these
honestly,
Black
like,
fucking
you scare
Muslims
me
come
right
over
now,
here
dude. Like,
and
there's
sit
a
there and
level
ride the
of
backs
care,
of
really,
every
majority of
Black
white
American?
are not black. Majority.
Every single one of them scream Muslim. How about every bolero that goes into the quote lower economic scales of Black neighborhoods, and they hold it and then they
Well,
treat
you're
Black
kind of
Americans
analyzing. You get your chance to respond. Let them talk, bro.
Okay, sorry. All right. I thought it was a free for all.
I was talking about Viking. Let them finish.
So again, you can see this endemically because you can go to every Valero, you go to every single place where you see Muslims gathered and how they treat black Americans. And the only time they cater up to you is there. Even when we had the BLM protest that started in Minnesota, you know who was up there actually holding signs talking about all the injustices, white, black, Hispanic? It was black Americans that were holding up signs and actually peaceful. You know who started the rioting, looting, and burning? It wasn't black Americans. It was the Muslim fucking tailwags that were sitting there going, yeah, racism, let me go steal a fucking TV. And then, guess who got blamed? Black Americans like Sid, black Americans like Timothy, black Americans like Carnage, continuously. And you know what? Here's the crazy
I'm not black.
I got a first-hand watch to that shit.
All right, fair enough. Well, the reason why I can't take much from what you're saying, Viking, is because you literally told me that you're happy with killing children. So, forgive me for still sort of having an idea of what kind of person you are. He genuinely said that. And also, I think you're kind of grifting. I feel like you're slightly grifting Black Americans because you did do this the last time we spoke as well, and you started trying to sort of appeal to the African American demographic and saying, these Muslims are coming in here and they're doing this and they're doing that, and we're the real Americans. And I think you're full of shit, to be honest.
Adam, while you've been playing every Xbox that ever came out, Viking has been living real life. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know he went to war. I know he risked his life, and generally speaking, I do respect, sort of military personnel, but I don't respect people that come back to America or wherever your home country is and say, "I'm glad that I killed children." I can't respect that.
I'm sure you're taking it out of context.
I'm not taking it out of context. He told me, "I'm glad that I killed your Muslim." You Muslim something, and he said a lot of words. But there was no love lost.
Hold on, wait. Brad, is that a true statement? Did you make that statement?
Oh, I probably did. I probably said I'm really happy about fucking laying waste to you because you got these guys that will sit there, blah 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 this.
We don't care about the waste or anything. I'm talking specifically about the children.
Did you say I went to target children? I just said I'm happy to lay waste to every kids, grandmas, and
Did you not speak about Gaza and Hind Rajab and all the rest of it? You said, I'm glad.
You know what? I don't care. You think I care about?
So why are you lying to Timothy? Why are you just?
I didn't lie to him. I just said I probably did make some comment like that. You fucking moron. You fucking. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You think that really matters to me? You had no problem fucking terrorizing, kidnapping kids off the fucking street, but you're not gonna call that shit out. That's your business. That ain't fucking Americans. That's yours. I don't come to your fucking mosque and go kidnap your kids. I don't fucking go ahead and do that shit. I didn't go to a music festival and shoot it up, kidnap them, and then cheer in the background. Well, do that shit to a bunch of kids who are fucking smoking pot and listening to shitty music? Fuck out of here. That's you. So when I come over there and my country says, hey, you know what? This is it. Like, we don't have a choice. And because you Somali fucking sand snakes want to sit there and cry, oh, we're a victim. Meanwhile, you're fucking doing your stupid twat waffle shit. Damn right. I don't give a fuck. I'd eliminate all. I don't care. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you touch an American's head. It. I don't care. Your family, your grandparents, your lineage, your children, it don't matter to me. I will burn the rest of the world down to protect one fucking American. Period. End of story.
See, will you tell your experience? It doesn't have to be racist. It can be the most misogynist.
Wait, but Beaver, do you think it's worth sort of moving past what he just said there? Because I feel like a lot of Americans kind of just do that, and then they're wrapping it up by saying, it's American interest first. Well, I'm all about American first. I like what's right. I agree with what I'm saying is they close to a car and then genocide, murderous rhetoric that they come back into America first.
No, I don't have this authority like you in the face.
When it's looking ridiculous for a car,
I'm saying keep hugging my block, bro. See how that works out for you.
Brad's the kind of guy you would want in a foxhole. He's the kind of guy you would want fighting for your country. I don't think he wants to go after their children and like with their blood or anything. I think he'll do what he's
glad that he's pro-American, man. Like, I think that line of exemplary. Like, he's the type of nigga, if he was a gangbanger, I would probably want him in my group and defend the Crips like a motherfucker, as he should.
The thing is, people like him end up actually living out the winter of their life in a pretty pathetic way. So, yeah, Viking, all the best to you, man.
I don't know about the Black American. You guys know, kids.
Be happy to kill kids. Be happy to kill kids and kill kids.
I know, he always loved that. He always loved the big, us military people, like babies. But at the end of the day, you don't want to get you pop off. That like fucking strap fucking support to a kid's chest and said, hey, you know what? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to run gate 3. And I want you to sit there and pretend you're kicking a soccer ball and just blow the guards and as they're fucking jumping off supplies, it was an idiot that was sitting there going, why do you need to have a right to shit? You don't need to have a right to shit. It's going to treat that whole lot of shit off of the last fucking weekend. And figure that's an example of fucking something that we should do. That's your, you get pissed at me for sitting there saying, you know what, fuck you, and I don't need to worry about you. I don't care. If you're gonna hide amongst your kids, then fuck it, that's it, done. It's the actual point of war, which means you're going to war. I go into that, and all chances of making it done go away. All I care about it because I don't give a fuck about a correct fucking war. I don't give a fuck about it.
Thank you. Let Brad finish. Brad, when he's wrap up this mission.
No problem, Timothy. Again, Timothy, here's the thing. The minute one of these Mustangs comes over and touches a hair on you, your family, anybody, any American's head, I say, you know what? Gloves are off. That means unchain me. Allow me to see if we go over there, and I promise you, motherfucker.
But you guys see, that's the thing, you and Sig don't share the same opinions because the difference is that like they're core passion. Yeah, well I think Sig is obviously he agrees with defending American values and American people, but I don't think he agrees with going over to other countries and just bombing the shit out of kids, right? Whereas you do like it, right? And Sig did actually he did actually correct you earlier when you said that these Muslims are coming to America. They're riding planes into our buildings. They're doing this, doing that. And Sig actually mentioned that you went there first. America went to a lot of these Muslim countries first. And I'm personally like, I just want to respect them. And a lot of them do not sound like you.
Adam, you're a fucking English twat Muslim cunt. Take your English little etiquette and your bullshit little English, you fucking tosser faggot. We kill 3,000 babies a day in our abortion facilities. If we have to go to war and a couple civilians die...
Done talking.
Yeah, so I was ending by saying, most veterans I've spoken to, they fall more down the line of Sig's point of view rather than Viking. And Viking, I genuinely question what you've done over there and if you even went there in the first place. You know, I don't know what your problem is.
Are you accusing him of stolen valor, Adam? How dare you, sir?
Alright, I don't know if that nigga's trolling or not. Oh, okay, you moved it down.
Yeah, he's crazy. See, will you hear your most sexist or racist experience? I bet you have a good one. Oh, you don't want to.
I mean, she had a lot to say when Brad was talking, so.
That wasn't really talking. That was not a discussion. I mean, I didn't say anything other than calm down. And I appreciate you asking, but I really don't want to talk about anything like that right now. This room is not something I would share right now. It's just too. You guys are just doing crazy right now.
Yes, we understand. Black, are you there? Blake America?
I'm here.
Blake America, the nigga in the corner.
Oh, Blake. I don't know.
I guess he's not there either. So
What's up, dude? What's up?
Blake, what's up, man? Can you
What's up, man?
I didn't even know I was on stage, bro.
Hell yeah, brother. You're on stage, man. Can you mind sharing your most racist experience, man? We want to know.
Racist experience?
Yes, sir.
Man, bro. Ain't too many, man. Ain't too many that I've experienced, man. I guess most racist experience was some, I don't know what y'all were talking about, but most racist experience, I don't even know if it's racist, but it was from like some Somalian people, man. Out here, you know, you experience a little bit of that as a black American in Minnesota. The Somalis just don't fuck with us, especially back in that like early 2000s, you know, and some of their kids is cool, you know, but you know, you learn a little bit of their language and stuff like that, and then you find out motherfuckers talking shit about you.
Sorry, go. Let him finish.
No, but it's not really. But like I said, man, I'm not. I gotta. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a weak chin, bro. So like, I didn't heard it all, so that none of that shit really gets to me like that, man. So you know.
I mean, that's fair, man. I mean, over the last 2 days, we've heard more people say they haven't really experienced racism than they have. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on.
You know, I just think it's a bit sad that there's a black American whose family's, you know, been through the history that you're aware of, and rather than actually criticize the people that conducted that history,
Fucking time traveler, this guy.
rather criticize and accuse racism of people that have been in America for probably about 30 years, who have zero power to affect anything within your life. So yeah, I just find that a bit ironic.
Wait, you're talking about racist?
And he's talking about how Somalis are racist too. And it's just like, what can Somalis do to hinder your life? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yes, I understand like $92 million.
On a personal level,
I mean, that was supposed to go to Americans in need that were struggling, but yeah, I mean, you could get that girl about that. You could go back to the massive carjackings that were, you know, desperately taken as mostly better people.
No, but we're talking about racism. He said Somalis were racist then. So I'm asking, how did that racism affect him?
Adam, to be fair, Somalis are pirates and descendants of pirates, so they do have like this pirate culture to them. I don't know if you've ever experienced like, did you answer how?
I'm talking specifically about Somalis here, but
They say white people are the descendants of cavemen.
This is so stupid.
I don't No, I don't even. Concept that's portrayed
I gave him submission. If Adam comes from the country, you should be mad about the country part of us. Unless I misunderstood the whole thing.
Scott, I mean, it's fair to ask, is the demand for racism in our culture greater than the supply? Like, there just doesn't seem like there's enough racism out there from personal testimony. How much we discuss is talk about it, focus on it.
A well firing or that some people dispute possibility. That's all we have so far.
My opinion is people that, you know, they're talking about how the MAGA supporters were going to string them up by a noose, and it turned out to be like two Jamaican guys that he had hired.
You remember the NASCAR, the half-black NASCAR driver, and having a noose hanging in his garage, and it turned out it was just something to pull up in the garage door?
Yeah, I do remember that one. There's a lot of them. I can name a bunch of them.
Go ahead, babe. Let me say something.
You know, you observe it. Do you think the demand for racism is greater than the supply?
Yeah, so is it's a good exercise, and it points out, right, like one type of racism, right? The interpersonal racist, the racist you would meet on the street that would be okay with being racist towards you blatantly and openly, and being dumb enough to communicate it in a way that it was actual racism. You know what I mean? Like the mother, that one woman calling the kid an N-word, right? Stuff like this, or Chet the Builder types, right? This is interpersonal racism. And I think America has gotten very far from that, and I think it's also become too sophisticated to, you're not going to find a general average human being in America being blatantly racist, even if they, I guess, believed or went along with the typical talking points, right? So what then are we looking at? We're talking about structural and institutional. We're talking about the outcomes, right? And these are the things that isn't going to be like an everyday experience, unless you've been a part of the system, right? So these are the things that need to still be discussed, because these are the things that we're still up against. I think Carmelo Anthony is a great case, even though a lot of people disagree. Crazy thing to have a young kid sentenced to 35 years for that. And
I mean, what do you expect when you kill somebody?
But it's a structural issue. It's not an individual issue.
Minds to take into account the mentality.
I can't listen to this shit.
The progress of aggression, and I think
the progress of aggression
would call for. I mean, like anybody, just go into.
Each and every being in creation is constantly searching and trying to achieve the state of ultimate peace. But by far, most persons experience very short and temporary episodes of peace, and for the greater part are quite at a distance from that absolute state. The basic cause of unrest is the lack of knowledge of one's true identity, as a result of which there is a limited level of understanding of the Creator and His creation. As the old saying goes, charity begins at home.
Cool mask.
True peace has to begin from within the person. If there is peace within, the person will be able to radiate peace outside. We all wish and hope, pray and try to achieve world peace. The intent of the heart and mind through prayer is one of the most subtle and powerful tools to deeply touch the hearts of all and truly transform to the deeper states of universal love and peace.
Who the fuck
The
are
mantras
you?
in this program have been used over the centuries and are truly known to bring inner peace, leading to peace in the external aspects of creation. Each person is a walking universe, and as each universe attains its absolute state of peace and tranquility, true peace will spread and be dominant. Aspects that disrupt peace are individual and group actions that are of the contrary nature. The mantras in this program also aim at resolving the fruits of such actions, and above all, enhancing divine grace to manifest in creation and in the hearts of all to take giant steps towards peace and keep away from negative actions. Playing and listening to this program will surely modify the energy in the environment to enhance peace. As you listen, please
You were almost the first man,
understand
but your wife
the
wants
meaning
spent
of
100
each
million trying
mantra
surgery for illegal
and send
aliens.
out prayers
You two are
of deep
pathetic
peace
failures.
in accordance to the meaning. Always wish and pray for peace of others first. This will come as a boomerang with greater peace for you. May peace and love be our constant companions with each and every breath.
This is Representative Rokana. I want to complain about Donald Trump as well as everything else in the world. Donald Trump made $1.2 billion day trading crypto, but I only made $200 million day trading high frequency with my wife and crony associates. And I create videos all day long. And ICE, we have to complain more about ICE. My name is Rokana, aka Rohit Khanna, a communist from India, and I am here to destroy America. Thank you very much for paying attention to this video. Like, share, and subscribe.
Mahara
My enemies are many, my equals are none. In the shade of olive trees, they said Italy could never be conquered. In the land of pharaohs and kings, they said Egypt could never be humbled. In the realm of forest and snow, they said Russia could never be tamed. From the property tax situation.
This is ChicagoMayorVote.com. We are here at the world famous Superdog getting a cheese, super cheesy hamburger. Like this video, subscribe if you want more in Chicago from the Democrat, Socialist, Liberal, Parasite, Stealing, Decision. Decision. Row away.
Yeah.